evening, race fans, and welcome here as we get set for qualifying for race number 22 of Season 4 of the NCAA Duracell Cup Series under the lights for some short track racing at the Paperclip Martinsville Speedway. It's the non-charter qualifying here tonight, 25 laps on tap at the end of the evening. 6 drivers will have locked themselves into the upcoming main event. Now, a couple of drivers that we have to highlight coming into this one that obviously with wins a couple of weeks ago back during the Chili Bowl heats, we have to see if they're going to be able to make enough starts to be eligible for getting into the playoffs. J Schwallenberg has made 7 starts so far this season. If he makes one here tonight, he would then only have to make 2 more starts in the upcoming 4 races. Michael Wayne Robinson also has made 7 starts, so he is in the same boat. D Poteet, on the other hand, has to make the remaining 5 races as he only has 5 starts in the charter system so far. So we'll see if the 31 is going to be able to make it here tonight. If he doesn't make it into the main event here tonight, his playoff chances will be over. Dawson Wise will line up on the pole position for this one. His teammate Chris Dollerton in the field here tonight. A couple of weeks ago at the Chili Bowl locked himself into the playoffs, but he still will remain in the non-charter series until we end up reaching when the playoffs begin. He'll start alongside of a driver that's actually been really good last couple of weeks in terms of qualifying, and that's the 69 of T Gehrdes out of Bulldog Motorsports. You can check down the description below for the full starting lineup for this evening's event, but we're now going to go down trackside for pre-race ceremonies and the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
So 6 drivers here tonight will qualify into the main event. We'll start 37th through 42nd in the field. So that's the good news. They'll be starting in the field. The bad news is they'll be starting at the back. Martinsville is usually a track where track position is very, very important. So you have to think that the advantage is going to go to a number of these drivers starting up towards the front in this qualifying heat. It's also only 25 laps, which is kind of a sprint for these guys. So it's going to take a lot of doing for guys middle of the pack, rear of the field to work their way at least up into the top 6 into a transfer spot. Green flag in the flagman's hand, and he's waving it. We're underway here tonight in the qualifying race in Martinsville. Let's roll. T Gehrdes got himself a great jump. Got alongside of Dawson Wise. Wise battles back. They still remain side by side into turn 3. Double wide all the way back through the top 10 as Dawson Wise looks to clear down here into turn 1. Ooh, he's going to get turned off the nose of T Gehrdes. He tried to throw the block. It didn't work. And the caution is out. And they're going to wreck further back there. N Amoedo goes around off the nose of T Gehrdes. Caution will fly. We're racing back to the start-finish line, and 2 drivers that were up inside of the top 2 positions have just taken each other out. Boy, Dawson Wise tried to throw it in there, tried to throw the block, and the rear tires never gripped. We'll see it on the replay here, but that was a costly mistake there for the driver of the 81, and not only cost him, but it also ended up costing T Gehrdes, who had nowhere to go behind him. Let's go back and see what happened. I think the biggest issue here for Dawson Wise was how shallow he was going to enter into turn 1, entering rather low. You see as he enters into the corner, the back end starts coming around. T Gehrdes, I think, was thinking about doing the crossover and actually got into the back of him as he got loose. Both of them go up and into the outside wall. And because the both of them right there kind of come to a stop with oncoming traffic, race officials throw the caution, and Chris Dollerton gets a piece of it there with the right front. They're almost 5 wide there, splitting Dollerton and T Gehrdes, and then as N Amoedo turns off the corner, he turns down into the side of Dollerton, who's down to the side of S Ozkan, and then that forces N Amoedo up and into the left front of T Gehrdes, spins him around, and then N gets spun around even more as T Gehrdes says, hey, let me through. Because these guys were racing back to the caution. So that's what brings out the yellow flag for the first time here tonight. Didn't take long, and it was right up there at the front with our 2 race leaders. Let's get ready to go back now for the restart here tonight at Martinsville. Rob Evans now inherits the race lead after the top two take each other out. A Sampsell will move up to second. Dylan Schwallenberg now finds himself third with Joshua Osborne, Daniel Voyles, and Harrison Ponder now in the transfer positions. Brad Stover, Z Stultz, D Poteet, and Michael Wayne Robinson all in the top 10. So of the three drivers that we will be highlighting here during the course of the remainder of the regular season, all three of them that need to make a start here tonight to keep playoff hopes alive are inside of the top 10. Right now, Schwallenberg, the only one of them in a transfer position. We had it double file for the start of this race. Future restarts will be single file, so maybe we'll be able to go green flag to the end, but I guarantee you we're going to see a lot more of what we just saw there in the first two laps of this race. Drivers are not going to be afraid here at a short track to use the chrome horn, use the front bumper, move drivers out of the way, especially in a race like this where there's really no repercussions. All you're doing here in this qualifying event is doing exactly what the name of the race is, trying to qualify. There's no points on the line. The win, while, you obviously get credit for a non-charter win, it really doesn't count as a win-win as you would get in the chartered series. So not a whole lot of regrets, not a lot of repercussions if you spin somebody out as the green flag back in the air here on lap number 8. Battle's going to be for fourth. Daniel Voyles going to get to the inside of Joshua Osborne. It's nighttime conditions, which means these drivers are going to be lulled into a false sense of security, thinking they have more grip than they do going into these turns. And a case of right there with Joshua Osborne, I think he just overdrove the corner. Daniel Voyles saw the space open, said thank you very much, took the spot. Brad Stover now trying to move into a transfer spot. He's going to get around Harrison Ponder. Now looks to get 2 for 1. As he'll get to the inside of Joshua Osborne as well. Driver going the wrong way. D Poteet has been kicked up to the outside, the long way around the racetrack. Little contact there between Stover and Joshua Osborne for 5th place. Got a car coming back on the track. Seth Coleman, the 25. A scheduled stop for the Liberty University Chevrolet. So that effectively takes him out of a transfer position. Not sure why he came to pit road, but whatever the case, it ends up putting him either a lap down or on the tail end of the lead lap. Tail end of the lead lap right now is where he's scored, and that's going to not be something Rob Evans wanted to see. Rob wanted to have clean racetrack for the remainder of this qualifying event. Now he's going to have to deal with traffic. That could be something that could allow A Sampsell or Dylan Schwallenberg to get up here and try and steal away this qualifying race win. Got a battle back here. That's for 8th. Harrison Ponder and Michael Wayne Robinson. Justin Dearborn in this mix as well in the 07. As Ponder will clear for the spot off of turn 2. Dylan Schwallenberg looks like he wants to go. He's been all over the back bumper of A Sampsell the last couple of laps. Couple of Camrys duking it out for 2nd place. For Dylan Schwallenberg, he's just got to be smart. Schwallenberg's got 7 starts already this season. If he keeps where he's at, he'll be making his 8th start later on this evening. And then he would only have to make 2 more charter races in the next 4 races. Remember, like in the case of Chris Dollerton, if you are a non-charter driver and you have a victory and make at least 10 charter starts, you automatically get yourself a spot in the playoffs. No questions asked. It's a special perk for these non-charter drivers since they have to work so hard to get themselves into the playoffs. Race officials here on NNSCRA kind of throwing them a bone there that you don't have to be up inside the top 35 in points, anything like that. If you do go to victory lane in a chartered race, all you need is 10 starts in the charter series qualified towards the playoffs. And that's, if Schwallenberg succeeds in doing so, that's Schwallenberg and Dollerton that are going to be taking 2 spots from charter drivers making it into the playoffs. So that's going to even put more pressure on those charter guys later on tonight. That might be why we see so many drivers this season put a lot of pressure on themselves to have multiple wins this season to make sure that they're going to be locking themselves in. I mean, so far this year, we've had 7 drivers go to victory lane multiple times. Ooh, things getting interesting around this transfer spot. A Sampsell with a slip up there, losing a spot to Brad Stover, and Z Stultz was there to capitalize, but couldn't get to the inside. But, I mean, we've got Nathan Ormond, who went to victory lane just last week for the second time this season. Adam Garcia, Mitchell Collins, Jesse Turner, Trey Wright, Cole Deaver, and Ryan Butcher have all been to victory lane 2 times this season. So I think these drivers realizing, hey, these non-charter guys, if they get in, we need to have multiple wins to make sure we're going to be locked into the playoffs as well. D Schwallenberg wants to win this qualifying race. He is on the back bumper of Rob Evans with less than 5 laps to go. This could be a good one here. Had an early caution flag back on lap 2. We've been green flag racing ever since. And the one thing that I'm loving right now is we've actually been having quite a bit of passing going on. Yes, it's taken a few laps for a pass to be set up, but there actually has been quite a bit of passing so far here tonight. Up at the front, middle, and rear of the field. Giving me some hope for later on tonight's main event, which will be coming up sooner rather than later because we are now 4 laps away from the conclusion of this race. Your transfer spots right now being held by Rob Evans, Dylan Schwallenberg, Daniel Voyles, Brad Stover, A Sampsell, and Z Stultz. Let's drop back there to the 44 Dodge. There he is, looking to make his 7th start of the season. Trying to hold off fellow Dodge Charger Joshua Osborne for that final transfer spot. Osborne running really low there on the back straightaway, trying to see what he can find going into turn 3. That shallow entry might hurt him, as now Justin Dearborn back there looking for 8th on Harrison Ponder. Schwallenberg a little wide there through 1 and 2. Loses touch with Rob Evans, falls back into the clutches of Daniel Voyles. As Rob Evans going to come around to see the white flag this time. Rob Evans already has a non-charter win. That was back at the Indianapolis Road Course, looking for his 2nd non-charter win on the season. About a car length and a half back to Dylan Schwallenberg. Pretty smooth sailing for the Heritage Distilling Company Dodge. And off turn 4, Rob Evans is going to pick up the victory. He'll be starting 37th here tonight in the main event as he takes the checkered flag at Martinsville. Dylan Schwallenberg, Daniel Voyles, Brad Stover, A Sampsell, and Z Stultz going to get the transfer positions. So later on tonight, 75 laps for race 22 of the Duracell Cup Series Season 4. We'll show you now your full finishing results from this evening's race. We'll see you guys later on for the main event, as you've been watching another broadcast courtesy of the NNSCRA Offline Racing at its best.